7, 1941, a date which will live in infamy. The United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
Hi everyone, I hope you're all having a good weekend. So today we'll be taking a look at this silver medallion issued on behalf of the Arizona Memorial Museum Association in Hawaii to commemorate the battleship USS Arizona, which was sunk in the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. Now, I bought this medallion from the gift shop at the Pearl Harbor Memorial when I first visited the museum many years ago. Because this was released so long ago, you will see markings on the medallion and the certificate that are no longer seen on the current Pearl Harbor commemorative medallions. Now, I'll highlight these markings during the course of this video. As usual, before I show you the medallion, please leave me a like if you enjoy this content, and don't forget to share and subscribe. So, let's get into it. Alright, this is how the medallion is presented. It comes in a case that's protected by this cardboard box. I kept the box all these years, so you can see it's already started to tarnish. But otherwise it's in good condition. Here's the case. And inside we can see a certificate. And here it says Pearl Harbor Official Commemorative Medallion. And I'll talk more about this certificate in just a little while. So here's the medallion. It's actually quite pretty. As before, let me go through the specification. This medallion was minted in proof in 3 nice fine silver. It has a weight of 31.1 grams or 1 troy ounce, a diameter of 39.3 millimeter, and a thickness of approximately 2 millimeter with a reeded edge. So let's start on this side. Let me just zoom in. Here you can see the side beam view of the USS Arizona. And the legend here on top reads Arizona Memorial Museum Association. The word below, the name of the ship, the USS Arizona. The US Navy hull number of the ship, BB-39. And the composition of the metal, 3 nice fine silver. Okay. And on this side, we can see the words Pearl Harbor on top and the date of the Japanese attack, 7th of December, 1941. Here we have the design of the USS Arizona, the mast of the ship, and the explosion during the attack, which you saw in some of the pictures during the introduction of this video. Just below here is the USS Arizona Memorial, which sits just across the wreckage of the ship in the harbor. Now, for those of you who might not know, let me just share a little bit about the USS Arizona. The Arizona was a Pennsylvania-class battleship launched in 1915 during the midst of the First World War and commissioned into the US Navy in 1916. The ship has a full displacement of 32,000 tons and featured a main armament of 12 14-inch guns, which were in 4 triple turrets, 2 forward and 2 aft. The normal crew complement for this battleship was in excess of 1,300 officers and men. The Arizona was present in Pearl Harbor during the Japanese attack on December 7, 1941, being one of the 8 battleships that was moored along Battleship Row. Japanese aircraft were reported to have scored at least 4 bomb hits on the battleship, causing this massive explosion, which killed 1,177 of the 1,512 crew members who was on board this ship at the time. This massive loss of life actually accounted for nearly half of the total loss of life suffered by the Americans during the attack. The Arizona was so badly damaged that she was never salvaged, although some of the main guns were recovered for use as defensive shore batteries on the island of Hawaii, as well as on the battleship Nevada. The remains of the ship was actually left in place, and the memorial was built across the structure in 1962, which is what we see there today. Now, if you were to visit the memorial, you will actually still see oil leaking out from the battleship, and this oil is sometimes referred to as the Black Tears of Arizona. Now, before we get to the certificate, I'd just like to draw your attention to the legend up here, Arizona Memorial Museum Association, or AMMA. Now, the AMMA was a non-profit organization formed in 1979 in association with the U.S. National Park Service. Now, this association was renamed the Pacific Historic Parks, or PHP, since 2010. So this title here actually no longer exists. In fact, I believe you probably will not see it on all the current commemorative medallions issued by the PHP. Alright, so here's a closer look at the certificate. This certificate is unnumbered. You can see the specification of the medallion and where it was actually struck at the Honolulu Mint. On the back of the certificate, we can see some information, including an excerpt from the famous speech by President Roosevelt, which you probably heard during the introduction to this video. Now, what I'd like to draw your attention to on this certificate is the Honolulu Mint. Now, according to what I can find online, this mint actually no longer exists. And from what I can tell, it probably closed its operation in 1995. I believe there are no other mints in operation currently on Hawaii, with the exception of the Royal Hawaiian Mint. Now, if the Honolulu Mint closed in 1995, it means that this medallion was actually minted before 1995. I believe it was actually minted in 1991 or 1992. I could be wrong. If anybody knows if there's any information regarding this medallion, please add that to the comment section below. Now, as I mentioned just now, this particular medallion is no longer being offered for sale at the Pearl Harbor Memorial, and I rarely see this medallion being listed online on platforms like eBay. I do see medallions that are similar to this being listed, and they usually sell for around 50 to 80 US dollars. Now, I wouldn't recommend you guys spend that amount of money for just 1 ounce of silver, unless you guys really like this design that much. I only have this medallion as a memento to my visit to the Pearl Harbor Memorial, which was a long time ago. So I don't see myself actually spending that amount of money just to get 1 ounce of silver. But again, that's just me. I'll leave a link to the Numista page regarding this medallion in the description text below. This page was created by me. So if you have any other information regarding this medallion, please don't hesitate to add to that page. I'll also leave the links to the Pacific Historic Park's webpage, as well as the link to the Royal Hawaiian Mint webpage in the description text below. So you can go have a look if you are interested. As always, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Don't forget to leave me a like if you enjoy this sort of content. And don't forget to hit that share and subscribe button if you have not done so. You guys, please take care, be safe, and have a nice day.